We did try seeing another chiropractor, and I just didn't really see positive results from it. We really didn't have any other opportunities to figure out how to help him, so we found you. The change was actually pretty quick. I mean, within a couple of weeks, he started to pull his arms forward in tummy time and had less tension in his upper back and his arms, which we noticed right away. That was the first thing we noticed. And then within a couple weeks of care, he started to scoot, and other people noticed that when we were holding him, he was sinking into you a little bit more. And he stopped doing the Superman arms. So it went from not moving much at all on his tummy to scooting, to a week later army crawling, to a week later hands and knees crawling. And every time we see you, I feel like you do work a little bit more with him, and he seems more and more comfortable with you. And then within that week, boom, we're hitting another milestone.
Can you describe what your child was experiencing before you started care with us?
Yeah, before we started care, he was about 6 months old when we started coming to you, and he was a very, very stiff and stressed baby. So what I was noticing was that I couldn't like cuddle him. He wasn't a cuddly, soft baby. If you held him, he was very stiff. He would throw his arms backward, so he wouldn't wrap his arms up against you. He wouldn't sink into you. So his body was just very, very stiff. When he was doing tummy time, he would Superman his arms out backwards. He wouldn't put his arms forward into that like forward getting ready to crawl position. He wasn't crawling yet. He wasn't scooting yet. His face was very tense, and other people noticed that as well, where he had forehead wrinkles and just always looked very angry. And people joked about that, but he had a lot of tension in his face as well. So in general, he just seemed like a very stressed, physically intense baby, which is why we pursued chiropractic care.
And so, what other ways were you trying to fix these problems that you were having with your little one?
We did try seeing another chiropractor for a little while, and unfortunately, we just didn't notice any results really. Scheduling was a problem, so he wasn't getting consistent care with that other practice, and I just didn't really see positive results from it. Other than that, we really didn't have any other opportunities to figure out how to help him, so we found you.
How confident were you that your child could have these issues resolved?
Well, I guess I didn't have any solid proof, like I wasn't sure, but seeing other babies, be cuddly and be soft and be able to crawl, move around, I hope that, we'd be able to find what was causing it and how to fix it, but I just didn't know how to do that. Nothing at home worked, and just working with them at home as limited as I could with my knowledge didn't do anything. So just hoping that we could find someone else to help was the key there.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. And so, when you thought about trying to heal this challenge of the tightness and not seeing him develop the way that you would expect, where were you getting your information from when you were trying to figure out what to do next, or where were you doing your research?
Yeah, so we have a lot of friends that have babies as well. So we're just in that age group right now where everyone has babies. And we do have some other friends that have tried different things. Some people have pursued physical therapy. We do have friends that see chiropractic care, and that was highly recommended through them. And then I'm actually still very close with our labor delivery team, our lactation consultant, all the people from the hospital where we delivered Dakota. And they referred chiropractic care 100%. They said, with the problems you're having, this is what you need. This is who you should go to. You're going to see results if you pursue that. So even locally, they were a great referral for us.
And so, is that what made you finally decide to make the change and start getting care with us?
Yeah, I think at that point it was getting to the point where he's 6 months old now and he's not meeting the exact milestones that I thought he should be making at that time. I just noticed physically he wasn't where I thought he should be. So with referrals from other people who, highly recommended you, they said that was probably a best bet, just to at least go get a referral, see what you could offer, and then, go from there. So that's why we made that first appointment, just to talk with you and see if you would be able to help us, because it seems like what you do was what we needed for him at that point.
Great. And how would you describe the change you saw after starting care with us?
So the change was actually pretty quick, which I was surprised about. I did not think we would see instant results. And it was instant. We didn't see anything, that day or the next day. But after the first few appointments, I noticed, I mean, within a couple of weeks, he started to pull his arms forward in tummy time and was, had less tension in his upper back and his arms, which we noticed right away. That was the first thing we noticed. And then within a couple weeks of care, he started to scoot. And other people noticed that when we were holding him, he was sinking into you a little bit more. And he stopped doing the Superman arms. And it was, even now at this point, a couple months later, every week, I feel like I'm seeing more and more and more improvement. He seems to be hitting a new milestone every single week, which is very, very fast now and a lot to keep up with, but he is absolutely soaring now. So it went from not moving much at all on his tummy to scooting to a week later, army crawling to a week later, hands and knees crawling. And every time we see you, I feel like you do work a little bit more with him and he seems more and more comfortable with you. And then within that week, boom, we're hitting another milestone. So now this past week, we're pulling and standing on furniture and we are crawling extremely fast through the whole house. And other people, baby's grandparents, have noticed how soft he is and that he sinks into you and he's hugging now. And his arms aren't being thrown behind him at all. He has no tension in his shoulders. He's just so relaxed. We have another friend who sees the baby all the time and noticed that the tension in his face is so much less because he used to be very forehead wrinkly and very tight on the side of his face. And even she noticed it and said, wow, I can tell this chiropractor thing is working for you guys because look how less tense the baby is. So that was cool, just that other people notice it too, and it's not just in my head.
Yeah, totally. Love getting feedback from, people on the outside that might not be with them all the time because they can really see how some of those smaller changes add up over time to be such massive shifts. And so, if you had to tell someone the best thing that has happened since being under care with us, what would you say that one thing was?
So I think a lot of people are skeptical of chiropractic care, which I understand because I was too, but it's nothing bad. It's absolutely amazing. And our bodies are just little machines. So I tell them that, machines need work and so do our bodies. So, coming to chiropractic care is helping his body function the way it's supposed to. He just needed a little help along the way. You know what I mean? So with you working him and getting his body the way it's supposed to be working, he's a perfect, happy little functional baby, and he's not stiff and he's not tense. And I feel like his little body's able to do what it needs to do now. So, not that I was holding him back before, but if we would have come to you a lot sooner, he would have been a lot more comfortable the first few months of his life.
Yeah, absolutely. People are always like, man, I wish I would have found you 4 months ago or even 5 years ago. And it's like, yeah, sometimes we can definitely wish we did something sooner, but as parents, we just do the best that we can. And the best time to start is now rather than trying to beat ourselves up about like waiting or just not knowing. And so that's where, you're doing great. And so, how would you describe the experience of working with us as a whole?
Yeah. So working with you personally in your practice is so easy, which is a huge blessing because as a new mom, we are so busy. My husband and I work full time. So, no offense, we don't have an hour plus to hang out with you every time we have an appointment, but we love how easy you make everything. We can pre book our appointments right on the app. When we come in, we check in and get to work with you right away. It's a very quick appointment. There's no lollygagging, which is so, so helpful that we can see these phenomenal results in just such a little bit of compact time with you. It's not overly time consuming. It's extremely convenient, and you just make it really, really easy. We feel very comfortable with you. I feel like the baby is very, very comfortable with you. He doesn't love strangers all the time, but he smiles at you and giggles with you. So I think he knows that it's a good place and he's really comfortable working with you too, which is a huge thing. You want your baby to be comfortable with their doctor. So that's great as well.
Love it. Yeah, those are great things. Love how efficient it can be and how we can get such a quick change with such a short amount of time that we actually have to provide the care. And so, were there any specific moments or aspects of the chiropractic care or the service that really stood out to you?
Actually, our very first appointment was huge for us. Just being mildly skeptical of chiropractic care and what exactly you would do and everything. So, when we came in for our first appointment, we were very, very impressed with the data. You were able to do tests and then actually show us what you were doing and educate us on what you wanted to do, why it would work, what results we would see. And it wasn't just, oh, we hope you see something. You gave us data, you gave us charts, you gave us actual science, which we love. We're very big on physically being able to see a chart and see that something's working. So that was huge for us. So it was a very good first impression with this is the data, this is what I'm going to do. And hopefully, doing this, we can see results. And not only that, we are going to see proof when we retest him. We'll be able to kind of compare the very beginning to a few months later how well his progress has been, and being able to see some data that's very, very helpful for us. And I think other people would like that as well, rather than just physically looking at the baby and being able to see changes, but the science behind it. That's very, very beneficial for us for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people love that we're not just basing care on symptoms, like you said, like, oh, are we noticing the change in how what we're seeing and how baby looks like they're feeling it, and yet basing the care on function and the level of dysfunction that's there through the nervous system based scans that we're doing, which are completely non-invasive, but they give us some data so that we can just know, hey, where are we going with care and what are we looking to see change, so that yeah, we can help them feel better, but help them function better so that they can grow and develop the way their body was designed to. Exactly, hit the nail on the head there. And so, how did our specific approach help your child begin to heal effectively?
Yeah. So I think in general, and I noticed that our first few appointments, you did kind of start slow and you were able to make him comfortable with what we were doing. We didn't just jump into all these crazy new things and scare baby. We did start slow. He was able to get comfortable with your tools and your hands and how you work with him and everything. So I think that was a fantastic approach. Um, and then your tools and your way of working with him, I mean, I can't deny it. It absolutely works. We've seen results, and you can't deny pure results. As I had mentioned, we had care before with a different chiropractor, different methods, different ways of working with baby. And we just didn't have the results we were looking for with that at all. So whatever you're doing and your methods absolutely seem to be working.
Awesome. And so, to wrap it all up, what would you say to another parent who's in the same position you were in, maybe a little bit skeptical, obviously commonly worried about taking their baby or child to a chiropractor, and they're trying to decide if they want to try chiropractic care for their little one?
Absolutely. I know it can be intimidating to take your baby to any doctor in general. You want to do what's best for them. Any parent does. I never think it hurts to just get the consult. Just go in, meet you, hear what you have to say. You're not going to go cracking someone's neck the moment you meet them. So to get in there and hear what you have to say, let you meet them and meet baby and see your methods and see your theories and see what you can offer them. If they're not interested or they're unsure, that's fine, but you're not going to know if you don't at least try. And that's what I say. And I've already been referring other people to you, and I say, just meet him, just have the initial consult, go see what he's about, see what his practice can offer you. I guarantee you'll want to stay. But it doesn't hurt to just go in and meet you and see what you can offer them and try it out, because like I said, I know every baby is different, every person is different, but we saw pretty immediate results. So for someone to just try, it's not going to hurt. It's a very safe practice. Baby will be very, very well taken care of with you, so you're definitely to be trusted. And it doesn't hurt to just get in there and see what you can offer them, because I guarantee other people will see results like we did.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your openness. Thank you for your trust to take care of your little one. And, it's really great having your family in the practice. And I look forward to continuing to see improvements and great development for your little guy. So thanks again.